Hello, I'm Mike Gorin, and welcome back to my perfect playthrough of the Disney Classic Games collection for the Nintendo Switch. Well, we've already cleared through the main attractions of Aladdin and Lion King on every possible system. Now we get to our final game, and our second DLC pick. Technically our second, third, and fourth DLC picks, because Aladdin for Super Nintendo was also DLC. This is the Jungle Book! As per usual, let's take a look through the museum to see what we're missing out on, and there's a couple interesting bits here. So it is kind of interesting that there's like art, game, and movie art. Oh right, the movie art, as in from the movie. Right, never mind. So all very interesting stuff, I'm sure. So, you got a lot of music tracks in this game that are basically from the movie. Console N and Console S version. It should be noted that Aladdin on Super Nintendo and Aladdin on Sega Genesis, despite reusing a ton of the same assets and even the same exact animations for Mowgli, and weapons and collectibles and whatnot, they are actually different games! Yeah, I'm kinda shocked. They have literally all the same exact resources, but they have different levels and they also have different objectives. So, because of this, I gotta play both the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis version. And luckily for me, all we really have to do is beat this game in order to achieve a perfect playthrough of the SNES version. Disney software. So it's kind of crazy that they would make two different... Many strange legends are told of these jungles of India, but not so strange as the story of a small boy named Mowgli. It all began when the silence of the jungle was broken by an unfamiliar sound. It was a sound like Bagheera the panther had never heard before in this part of the jungle. It was a man cub. Raised by a family of wolves, no man cub was ever happier. And yet Bagheera knew that someday Mowgli would have to go back to his own kind. Shere Khan the tiger had returned to the jungle and would surely come for the boy. Had Bagheera known how dangerous this adventure was to be, he would have obeyed his first instinct and walked away. Or he would have eaten the cub, but because leopards are highly opportunistic ambush predators. So even though we have the option to change difficulty setting, we want to just stick to the normal setting, because practice setting in this game will lead to an abrupt end to our playthrough. Now, it is kind of amazing that the same studio would use all the exact same assets for both the Genesis and Super Nintendo version. Yeah, this... So I will say the animation is, like, super smooth in this game. So these are hearts to replenish health. So why make two versions of the Jungle Book, and why a Jungle Book video game at all? Like, that movie came out in 1967. Well, for two reasons. Number one, Jungle Book, prior to The Lion King, was pre-Renaissance, was one of the highest grossing Disney film franchises ever. Like, they even had a spin-off TV show called by the name of Tailspin. Alright. I'm sure I missed some things, but you don't need to get everything. I think getting all the red gems in a level earns you a continue. Not sure what the green gems are supposed to do, though. And now we get copyright in the music. Okay, how do we get up there? That's how. I call green bonus gems, but I don't know what they do. This game doesn't seem to have any bonus rounds in them. The Genesis version does have bonus rounds. Oh, right, I know what. But something I just noticed too is is that their counts carry over from level to level. Where's the freaking parrot? So yeah, I think there's like 15 of these red gems per level. Gain all 15 of them earns you a continue. Oh, we'll have to wait and see. See. Does 15 equal a continue? No. I think I have to get all of them in a level. In green gems, I'm at 25. Maybe I need 100 in order to get a bonus rank. A bonus. Caught a snake. Level 3. There are 11 levels in this game, so... I blew up Toucan Sam. Oh wait. Enemies in this game respawn. Let's do this. There. Now for our first boss fight. This is keeping his patterns simple. So for first of 3 bosses, technically 4, done. Those gems. Chapter 4, The Tree Village. So yeah, the difficulty has already ramped up big time, since now there are bottomless pits. Bamboos in Asia, in India? We're at the end of the level, so we just have to hop. And sure enough, we're at the end of the level. 17 bonus gems. Pet ride. Basically an auto-scroller. Alright. Good luck. Right, how you get up there? And there we are at the end of this level. Oh, now we gotta continue, probably because we got all of them this time. And we have 18 bonus jumps. A waterfall! I remember that waterfall making a couple appearances in the original movie. Alright, we are. Sorry, I'm just trying to concentrate. Just cuddling up. He's so cute. Aww. Um. Aww. Oh, we have 45. Wow, we have a lot of red gems. 45 green ones, too. I think just collecting all the red gems in a level gets you a continue. I'm not sure what bonus gems are supposed to do yet. But 45 of them. Or did. Alright, so now we gotta navigate a guy like... No, not a guy like you. What's this song called? A Friend Like You. I Like You's from Hunchback of Notre Dame. The song here is, Barrel King Louie here. It's getting faster and faster. Man, these bosses are damage sponges. Oh, never mind, he's dead. Well, not dead. But this is the end of the level. Just 12 gems this time, and 7 bonus gems. Nola's Collapsing Ruin, which is actually the second time where you will have to fight King Louie. So I said 3 bosses, but there are technically 4. Because we fight King Louie twice. And yes, this is an auto-scroller. Probably in order to try to simulate the idea that this is a big chase, I guess. So let's go. I think we are nearing the end of this level, and thus the second boss fight against King Louie. Oh! Oh! Alright, now is the final showdown against King Louie. It's far more aggressive. By the way, what's crazy is that once you get to the Genesis version of this game, And just like his runes come down on him. So as I was saying, it's quite interesting that the Genesis version and the Super Nintendo version literally reuse all the same assets, even all the same bosses and enemies and animations, yet they are different games. It's kind of crazy. And we'll get to that in a bit. Alright, is that the owl from Bambi? Why did they put the owl from Bambi in the Jungle Book? Not an enemy. So it's kind of strange that there is literally an enemy character from Bambi making an appearance in the Jungle Book. Let's see the parrot. We're at the end of this stage. Man, this is a long game. But then again, these levels are huge and very maze-like, so... Oh, there's only 2 more levels. So might as well just go for the finish. Alright, to the top. Baloo. We made it. Now for the final level of the game. Chapter 11 is the Wastelands, and the final level. So, since we're dealing with these hyena-type enemies, so they are actually based on a character from the Jungle Book novel rather than anything from any of the movies. And the reason why it's relevant, well, ask yourself a question. Why was they make a Jungle Book video game based on the Jungle Book in '94? I know Tailspin was around, I know Jungle Book was a very popular IP. One of Disney's most popular films ever. Really, the reason why they made not just one, but two Jungle Book video games was because it was in '94, so it was the 100-year anniversary of the novel. In fact, they even made a remake for that reason. Like, that was their first live-action remake, was Jungle Book '94. Which actually isn't even a true remake of the Disney animated film, but rather of the... So, something of the, of an old live-action 1942 film as well. It just happened to be made by Disney. Something else worth noting too is that we never gotten a green gem throughout our entire stay in this level. Sure, makes sense. This is the final level after all. So the live-action movie for 94, as well as these video games, were basically made to commemorate the book's 100-year anniversary of the original novel. So the Jackal character is actually a character from the book, though there is a character in the live-action movie that is named after that Jackal character. I don't remember his name. He was the one that Mowgli pushed off a cliff in that movie. So to follow that beetle, that vulture that's based off one of the beetles. Now for the final showdown with Shere Khan. Easy. And that is that for Shere Khan the Jungle Book. We defeated Shere Khan and we beat in the game. And with my X amount of lives too. And so, as our story comes to a close, Mowgli makes his way through the final stretches of his journey toward the Man Village. Having survived the perils of the jungle and vanquished Shere Khan's still alive, by the way. Even in the original movie, he doesn't die. He does appear in Jungle Book 2, after all. Mowgli travels the shadowy paths and bows one last time with his longtime friend and guardian Bagheera. Overlooking the moonlit pools of the sleeping forest as he passes by, Mowgli finally nears his destination. And reaching that place where he belongs, Mowgli cannot help thinking, as Baloo did, that he'd have made one swell bear. It's kind of interesting that Bagheera only shows up during the cutscenes in this game. And otherwise, it's always Baloo that we run into. So yes, the Jungle Book on Genesis Super Nintendo version of the game is fine. It's perfectly serviceable. Honestly, it's kind of amazing that this was a long-time candidate for 12 Games of Christmas on its own. Jungle Book on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. And I just never got around to it, simply because, while it seemed like an obvious choice, I had to ask myself how many kids in 1993, 1994 were actually clamoring for a Jungle Book video game. It's more like a game that their aunt or uncle would get, whether their Aunt May or Grandpa Joe would get them for Christmas, if anything, or as a birthday gift. Basically from a relative that doesn't really know you all that well, or know your interests. Because 93, 94, as far as Disney, it's gonna be Aladdin and Lion King, more than anything else. They might do like Chip and Dale 2, DuckTales 2, if they have an NES, but that's about it. But yeah, I do think this game is a bit long. We're nearing that point where we have to start talking about possibly including an actual save or password feature for the game. Like Aladdin on Super Nintendo had passwords. Not for every level, but periodically enough. Or even if you get stuck, and get a game over, you could still continue where you left off. But the demo did say that it could take about a half hour just to make a beeline for the exit. Honestly, I still don't really get the collectibles of this game. I think they're more or less a byproduct of the Sega Genesis version, because by all accounts, the only thing Gain All the Gems does is Gain All the Red Gems rewards you with a continue. I still don't know what the green gems do. You think they have something to do with opening up a bonus round, but I never did open up a bonus round, and honestly, looking it up online, there are basically no level maps for this game. There are level maps for the Sega Genesis version, and even the NES version of all things. But not the Super Nintendo version. You would think that would be the main seller there of that bunch. But to be fair, I do think the Genesis version of Aladdin and Lion King are my preferred ways to play those games. All things considered, Super Nintendo Aladdin versions are perfectly fine though. We completely completed the Super Nintendo version of Jungle Book. But this is definitely the Sega Genesis soundtrack version of Bare Necessities that you're looking at. So the next time we continue, we are probably going to do the Sega Genesis version of Jungle Book. So we only have 2 more games left in this collection before we can say that we've accomplished everything this collection has to offer, and we can finally lay Jungle Book to bed, as I no longer have to worry about doing a perfect playthrough of this game via 12 games of Christmas or anything like that. It just never seemed to appeal to me enough to cover for 12 games, even though it was always the logical next step for me. So yes, this was an emergency swap for 12 games, but it is... Looking back, I do think it is sort of fitting I wind up coming back to this game anyways, for what may be my final year doing perfect playthroughs, all the same. But we have the Sega Genesis version, and we have the Game Boy version, though this time it's only a black and white, no color version. So next time, Sega Genesis version. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it, and I can assure you, this is not the same game. I can assure you that. Otherwise, this is Mike Gordon, sign out.